Kokonatsu swing, gupi wa dance, watashi tachi minagiru yaruki. I can't sing, I was in band. In high school. Ashita mate nai, ima hajime yo, sakechi da de puriti pa 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 da pa. I cannot effectively communicate how close this mic is to me and how hyped I am for this stream. Yeah, thanks antivirus. Yeah, no viruses. Sweet. We got no viruses, which is good. After I after I went to that skeevy ass Korean website earlier. That'll come up when we get to the GBA game. And I am ready to go. God damn, yes. So normally today we'd be doing Ender Lilies, which I said we would do on Friday. And I said, well, before Ender Lilies, today is February 1st, Pretty Cure Day. And it also happens to be Tuesday, which is when I stream. And I was like, oh, that's a cool little overlap. Maybe I'll just do like a tier list for my favorite like entries in the series. It'll be a cute little thing. And then over the weekend I thought about it and I was like, or I can just make the whole night Pretty Cure games. So that's what we're gonna do. We are going to start with that tier list though. I got a lot of stuff together for that, like putting things together. Oh shit, I never sent out the Twitter notification. Oops. Hey, guess what, Twitter? The stream's live. I was too busy tropical dancing. Okay, my bad. Sorry, Twitter. Oh no, I feel bad. All right. So here we go. We've got the whole setup here. And I went complete extra when it came to this. So we're going to go in chronological order. And I will say, some of these karaoke or the instrumental versions are actually the karaoke versions. So they do have the backup vocals. I had a hell of a time finding some of these. Believe it or not. And as you can tell by that, well, obviously I said we're going in chronological order. We're starting with the first two. Pretty Cure and Max Heart, which I'm lumping together into one. Because it's Nagisa and Honoka. If all it's both of them, we get Hikari in season 2. She's, yeah, pretty cool. Reincarnation of the Queen of Light. Whatever. I love it. But it is a product of its age. This is early 2000s. It feels like late 90s, kind of. There are derivative elements, more so than the other series, because it was the first one. Well, I say derivative elements, but they all have the same core, we know this. I would give them a B. A good, solid B. Because when I think back to them, I say, God damn, I love that. I should rewatch them. I should rewatch so many of these. I wanna... okay. So, yes, obviously, I loved Max Heart and just these two enough to watch the rest of it and to be now devoting an entire 3-hour stream to the series on its 19th anniversary. So, a good B. The only reason I can't I can't really put it higher because it didn't feel overly unique. A lot of these other ones have their own identities and they're more themed. We'll especially get starting around Fresh, sort of. Heartcatch really started theming. like heavy themes throughout the series. Before then, the first series up through Pretty Cure 5, it was kind of more general Sentai action. So it kind of, yeah, the series didn't become what it is now until probably Fresh Heart Catch, I'd say. But God, I love this. Alright, and next we move on. Oh, I am going to say, I am going to be talking about spoilery elements for a series that's 19 years old at this point. Especially the older ones, because the story's going to have a big impact on what I think of them. And that's especially important when we move into... Oh, the song's almost over. Splash Star. Splash Star. So, if you haven't seen Splash Star, it is technically the third series. It's season 3. But it's the second original Splash Star entry in the series with new characters. All of these, except for... I'm already on season 3! You're too slow, mate! The only entries in the series that have sequels with the same characters are seasons 1 and 2, and 4 and 5. All of these are unique otherwise. Oh shit, I forgot. So, at first I started Splash Star, and Saki and Mai look almost exactly like Nagisa and Honoka. So at first, I wasn't even sure if these were different characters. And early in the series, a lot of the beats are even the same. It's weird. I know Nagisa plays lacrosse at school, and Saki plays something. I don't think it's lacrosse. Oh, it's been like 5 years since I've seen Splash Star. No worries, I'm thinking about lacrosse and anime. But the point is, the two are just so similar until we get about halfway through. The best part of Splash Star was actually the villains. The way they interacted with Goyon, who just had to do all the bitch work for Akudaikon and everyone else. He had everyone, like, he was carrying them on his back. And then we get to the end with the big confrontation with Akudaikon, and they, like, blast a hole in his chest, and he's like, I can still fight. Goyon, do something. And Goyon's like, yeah, no, I don't gotta, because I'm in charge, bitch. And it turns out Goyon was a real bad guy the whole time. He was puppet master, like, Akudaikon wasn't even real. And then he turned into this big muscle dude, and it blew my mind. It blew my mind. They didn't, like, set this up at all. And I look for this stuff too, and I was like, holy shit, what? And it was fantastic. That when I think of Splash Star, I think of that feeling I got when Goyon's just like, oh, guess what? And it didn't even feel cheap. And then you find out that the fountain he was looking for the whole time was just the Earth's ocean. And it was there, like, everyone was looking at that the whole time. The end of Splash Star saved it for me. It really did. It was just so great. But I'm also going to put it in B. Some of these will get below B. I'll tell you now. Because it is so... It's essentially... It feels like part 3. But with new characters. It didn't do a whole lot new until kind of near the end. But when it did, it went so hard that I couldn't help but love it. It goes down to like C or D on its own there. But then when it turns around, it rockets back up to B. Welcome back. You didn't go anywhere. And you only missed me losing my shit about a tiny gnome man becoming a muscular, like, god dude. It's fantastic. Which then brings us to Pretty Cure 5. You are 5, go, go, go! I'm actually going to turn this down a little more. Yes, go, go, yo, oh, no, go. Yes, Pretty Cure 5, go, go. Okay. So, like the first two, I'm lumping both seasons of Pretty Cure 5 together. And Pretty Cure 5 is the first time that we have more than two main characters. Well, we had Shiny Luminous in Max Heart. She joined. But this is the main one where we have a proper team. And that carries through to the rest of the series. In these first three, the two main characters had to be together. They couldn't transform by themselves, and they couldn't do like big special attacks on their own. Pretty Cure 5 was the first time we had independent action between the members, which was interesting when it happened the first time in Pretty Cure 5. And I was like, oh, that's a good approach to that. And then it just kept going, and it was a good thing. It was, honestly, it's pretty limiting when your characters have to be together and can't do anything otherwise. It's good thematically, but it kind of hurts the action of stuff. Pretty Cure 5 had good characters. I don't want to say great. They were really good. And I really enjoyed the story. The best part of Pretty Cure 5 is Boonbee, who has come up multiple times on this channel, especially during the JoJo stream, because his voice actor voiced Josuke, I want to say. I don't know my JoJo too well. He's the guy with the money clips on his school uniform collar. I think that's Josuke, but that's the same guy. He also plays Boonbee, who is one of the best characters in the entire series. Story-wise, the first Pretty Cure 5, I honestly can't remember a whole lot about it. Desperado was trying to get immortality, and I don't really remember it too much. I remember Pretty Cure 5 pretty well, with the Eternal Museum and the Curator trying to get into the Rose Garden. Pretty Cure 5, like, really went all out. It was Pretty Cure 5, like how we had Pretty Cure Season 1, and then Max Heart was like a continuation. We had Pretty Cure 5, and then Go Go was like Pretty Cure 5 plus. It felt like... And I think that was, they also upped the animation too. It was almost like a completely different show, and it was fantastic. Go Go goes into A. Go, I'm gonna put it in C. Honestly, it it was so eclipsed by Go Go that I can't even remember. I'm putting it in C. I feel comfortable with it there. Yes, Pretty Cure 5, go, go! Which brings us to Series 6. Pretty Cure, fresh, fresh, fresh. Fresh Pretty Cure. Was interesting. Each of these brings something new, which is fantastic. Fresh Pretty Cure is the first time we had a villain join the team. East who is the primary antagonist for most of the first half of the show, later becomes Cure Passion, Setsuna. And that's a trend that would be repeated in some later series. Fresh was about dancing. That's the main takeaway, dancing and donuts. They did have a good bit to where you knew there was going to be another character, but you had no idea who it was going to be. And, well, no, not even that. You thought you knew. The show set everything up for the dance instructor to be the fourth Pretty Cure. You knew it. The characters knew it. The story knew it. And then it flipped that shit right around and it made the bad guy a Pretty Cure. And that was, like, kind of mind-blowing. I loved the association between Love and Ys, or Setsuna when she was Ys. She was pretending to be a normal person. And she had the Clover Charm necklace, like, that Love gave to her. And that was very well done. I really enjoyed that. The dynamic between the two characters. I liked the idea of Labyrinth. Just the automated world where humanity... The future, I believe it was? Where it's like in WALL-E. Everything's just done for us, so we just like shut down. And we just go from point A to point B, and everything's handled mechanically. There's no more humanity and things like that. I liked that. That's the first time we had like another proper world that was encroaching into our own. The Nakiwameke, the Sorewatase. But Fresh brought a lot of ideas that would become fundamental in the future series into it. And yeah. Oh man, I haven't been doing the posters. Damn. I'm on Fresh now. Ah! I've just been doing this. I've been too busy changing the songs. So, now that I changed the poster, I did really like these parts of Fresh. But, honestly, I feel like Fresh should be a C, and I need to move this down to D. Yeah, that feels more right. Because for these things that I loved about Fresh, I can tell you like these moments I loved and these aspects. But when I think about the show, I can't think of like episodes and story arcs and things like that. There were pieces that I absolutely adored. But overall, it just kind of escapes me, unfortunately. So after Fresh Pretty Cure, we got Heart Catch Pretty Cure. Alright, hard to catch Pretty Cure, some no day. Heart Catch Pretty Cure, which definitely has the most unique art style out of the entire series. It also has... oh my god, Heart Catch has everything. It has Princess Peach butt bumps. It has evil sister twin homunculi. It has Kope-sama. Heart Catch has anything you could ever want in an anime. It has Grandma Pretty Cure. Heart Catch is the first time that we are introduced to the concept of Pretty Cure existing before our main characters. Tsubomi's grandmother was Cure Flower previously. And Kope-sama, who hangs out in the greenhouse with her, was her fairy. And, oh my god. Also, an important point to note is that Yuri Cure Moonlight is the only character in the entire series to be a high school student. She was in middle school in the prologue, I believe. It starts with the Heartcatch is the first for a lot. It's the first to have a main character who's in high school, even though the others are in middle school like usual. It's the first time to feature actual death of a main character. The entire series, most of the beginning, is Yuri doesn't want to be Pretty Cure anymore because her fairy was killed by the Dark Pretty Cure, her evil homunculus sister, made by her father for a man who wants to turn Earth into a desert. Anime's some weird shit, man. But oh, Heartcatch is... I have 2 Heartcatch games to play tonight. So you're gonna see exactly what it is. Heartcatch is a trip. And I totally have to watch this again. I don't think about Heartcatch enough, but I really have to. I'm gonna put Heartcatch up in A, simply because it's been too long and I can't really put enough in my noggin to justify bumping up to S. Honestly, if I watched it again, I would probably bump it up to S. Heartcatch is also another case to where we know there's going to be another main character, but we don't know who. And we go around with all these other people, and then we find out it's Itsuki who becomes Cure Sunshine. And we've spent... all the characters, us, everybody has spent the series up to this point thinking she's a boy. And she's just cool with it. She's like, whatever. Fucking whatever. People love me. That's it. Okay, I do my thing. And then she's like, guess what? I'm Cure Sunshine. And it's great! We don't get that level of mystery in a lot of the later series, especially with like pre-release material. It's like, oh, here are the main characters in the series, and you see it and you're like, oh yeah, they're introduced in the show like, oh, who's this? And you're like, that's the 3rd character. But we haven't introduced the 2nd one yet, we just know it, because they told us. That was a fantastic time when anything could happen. Speaking of when anything could happen, we got a little more of that with la 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 la, sweet, sweet, pretty cute, sweet, pretty cute, Oh, Sweet was something. First off, Sweet is based on music, which I loved right out the gate. Sweet is another instance where we have a villain join the team. About halfway through, Siren joins as Cure B. And gotta love the karaoke backtrack. We also have Cure Muse, who is an enigmatic tuxedo mask style character who appears early in the series and saves the day a lot. We don't know anything about her except she wears a gimp suit, pretty much. And she just flies in with her keyboard and she saves the day left and right. We find out later on, not only is she the daughter of the King of the Kingdom who has been corrupted by Noise, the fossil, crazy, heavy metal, death bird skeleton, but she is on stilts to hide her identity. She does all this in stilts, and it's excellent. Oh, I also have to throw in bonus points on Sweet for Noise. Again, he spends most of the series as an enormous fossilized bird skeleton, but then when he comes in, he is ballistic. And contrary to his name, he can suck the noise out of things. During the last fight, they fight him for the first time and everything goes silent. And you kind of go, wait, what? And then he beats the shit out of her. You can't talk to each other. There's no coordination in a complete void. And it was great. Sweet is also the first time when we get more empathy for the villain. We're introduced to his reincarnated form for the later parts. He kind of pals around, they don't know it's him. We're not really, we know it's bad, but we don't know it's actually Noise. And then he comes in, they fight him, and they beat him, obviously. But he's like, I can't let this go. I'm just gonna come back. And they're like, well, we'll be ready and we'll beat you again until you get this. And you feel kind of bad for him. It's the first time that a villain is not properly destroyed, actually. Akudai Khan, Desperaya, Dune in Heartcatch, Mobius, they're actually destroyed. Noise is the first time when the villain doesn't die, which is actually kind of more of a recurring thing in some of these. And he's reincarnated back as little P, they called him. I'm putting Sweet up in A. It doesn't. There were some. I loved it, but not enough to where I can bump it up to S. If you want to talk about S, we move on to smile, 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 pretty cute. Let's go. I'm gonna put it up in S right now. Smile Pretty Cure is, I believe, my favorite. I love the fairy tale theming of it. I love the characters. I will admit there is a lot of filler in this series, but when there is filler, it's very character oriented and it fills them out more. And there's a giant robot episode. That's a complete joke, and it's fantastic. I loved the antagonist, especially Joker, and Piero was awesome. There were real stakes, real tension. Smile was the first time I felt like things weren't going to work out. And there were just fantastic character moments. I will point out that this is the series which has the most international presence. It was dubbed by Sabin, God help us, as Glitter Force. And it's terrible. It has its fans. I saw one episode and I could not take it. They pulled a Sabin and they stripped, they re-edited it for international audiences. It wasn't just a straight dub. They cut out like a dozen episodes and chunks of others. The characters became annoying. Oh, it was just horrible, and I couldn't take it. They did I want to say season 1 a dub, and I saw a little, like some clips, and it seemed okay. But Smile, they massacred my boy. I love Smile Pretty Cure and Cure Sunny. Ah, shit, you can't see it. Here in the corner, the orange one is Asami Tano, who I have my weird obsession with. I did not know it was her until later on. I love her, and she just so happens to be in my favorite Pretty Cure series. What it's fate. I just rewatched this like 2 years ago or so, and I was like, wow, yeah, there is quite a bit of filler in this, but even that is enjoyable. It's not like Bleach, where you get an entire arc of why the hell am I watching this. You'll just get a good character episode here or there. that doesn't necessarily advance the plot, but Reika's not sure about what's going to happen after she graduates, if she's going to leave the country. Her family has these high expectations for her, and she's dealing with these things internally. And oh, it was... I love Smile. Duh! So I could rant about Smile all day, but I won't. We're going to move on to Doki Doki Pretty Cure, which I will also point out was also dubbed by Sabin and called, oh shit, is it Glitter Force Doki Doki? They butchered this one even more than Smile. They combined they like cut half of the first 2 episodes and glued those together. And oh god, I think they cut out more episodes, if not the same number. It's egregious. And this was happening in like early 2010. This isn't even like 90s or early 2000s internationalization. Doki Doki, thinking back, honestly feels, in terms of dynamics, it feels a little flat to me. I really enjoyed the characters. I loved the Jikochu, the villains. Each of them is based on one of the 7 sins, with the leader being King Jikochu, Pride. And they hang out in a smoky bar with a light up neon sign that says "Go Go Jikochu," and I have to custom order one. I have to have that sign. It's fantastic. And they're so over personalized with their traits, but it's not overbearing. They are what they are, and it fuels them, and that is great. The cures themselves, the main characters, work well with each other. I don't really remember driving forces from them. I forgot to mention Sweet Pretty Cure with Cure Muse is the first character to be in elementary school. Or is she's young. She's either in she's in elementary school. Cure Ace is also in elementary school in here. She's the second youngest character in the series. Honestly, all I remember about Doki Doki is the characters, and even then, I'm not getting like invocations of these characters, unfortunately. So I can't put it too high up. I mean, I really like the characters, but that's all I have. Also, the Doki Doki movie is the first and only depiction of blood in the entire series. When Mana is attacked by the wolf, it bites her shoulder and she's got blood all over her shoulder for the next while until she transforms again. And that was kind of like a whoa thing. They never did it again. The interesting little tidbit there. So after Doki Doki was Happiness Chachi Pretty Cure, which is another case of a lot of firsts. I just realized I'm moving my mouse over on the left side a lot, but I don't have that showing on the capture, so I need to be down here more. Happiness Charge is the first series to have a focus on romance. It is the first and only series to feature God, who is a central character who multiple characters are in love with. And he's just kind of like, whatever. And that's the whole impetus behind the whole thing. It's also another series in which past Pretty Cure play a large part. The main villain used to be a Pretty Cure, who was led by God, Blue, to do all this good stuff and all that. She fell in love with him. He's like, I can't, I'm too busy being God. And she just lost her shit and became a bad guy. It is also the first and only series for Pretty Cure themselves to be a worldwide thing. Oh shit! that's right, this isn't the whole thing! I could not find the entire version of this song. I forgot about that. The only instrumental themes I could find for Happiness Charge are the song from the movie, which, while it's a fantastic song, Where Courage is Born. God, it is so good, listen to it. But you cannot find the main theme, just an instrumental. It's maddening. I lost my train of thought when the music reset there. God's Love, a love triangle. It's the first time we have a male character who is a central character. I don't remember his name. He is the childhood friend of Megumi, who loves her, but she's in love with God. Oh, that's right. It's the first time where Pretty Cure are a public thing. They're in the news, there's merchandising, they're all over the world. Which I found interesting. They actually have like superhero teams of Pretty Cure. Happiness Charge, actually, I never see it getting a lot of recognition. It did a lot of really cool stuff. I'm gonna, god damn this music, I'm gonna put it at a solid B, because it felt like it was trying to do a whole lot, but it felt over encumbered by new ideas. And I swear to God, Kim Jong-il is in this show as Oreski. Check him out. I actually saw this before I watched Pretty Cure. I was doing a homestay on one of my trips to Japan with some people, and we were flipping through the channels with the family, and it was Happiness Charge Pretty Cure. And we stopped on there, and we were like, what the fuck is this? And Oreski was standing on top of the hill, and he's got the brown military uniform, he's got all the things, and the hat. And one of the guys I was listening, is that Kim Jong-il? And it was, I swear to God. And then we flipped the channel again. And then a few years later, I was watching through the whole series, and I got there and I was like, oh my God, I've seen this. That's Kim Jong-il. And it was great. I loved running into that. I would recommend Happiness Charge, but not as your first Pretty Cure series. Come back to it. One of the ones I would recommend to be your first is Go Princess Pretty Cure, which is my number 2 favorite, maybe my number 1. I'm actually planning on rewatching this soon. Oh, the main characters are great. It's another instance where the villain joins as a main character with Cure Scarlet. The villains are fantastic in Princess. One of my favorite things about Pretty Cure is I don't even refer to them as villains normally. I use the term antagonists, because none of them are villainous. They're not dastardly. They're doing things for they have reasons. They have human reasons, and they are fleshed out characters. They have aspirations, they have dreams, they want this because of this. It's great, and Princess has some of the most fleshed out antagonists, especially with Lock and Shut. Oh God, just thinking about it makes me want to watch it all the more. Oh, I have Princess Pretty Cure is fantastic. I'm really mad. I wanted to play the Princess game tonight, but I couldn't get it to work. I was really hoping I'd be able to play it, but it just I couldn't get it to function. And that was really disappointing for me. I was heartbroken, honestly. So I came out of Princess Pretty Cure, and we then naturally go into Mahotsky Pretty Cure, which for some reason Toei translates as Witchy Pretty Cure. For reference, a Mahotsky is a magician, that kind of thing, like a magical being, a wizard, a sorcerer, that kind of thing. And they went with Witchy for the official translation. This is the first time in a long time in which we have two main characters, primarily Miracle and Magical, and then Felice joins later on. We haven't had that dynamic since back in seasons 1 and 2, and then 3. We haven't had that in what number is Mahotsky? Is series 13 in a decade. We went back to the older formula, which you can say is because it was 10 years. I really enjoyed the beginning of Mahotsky when they were trying to stop Dokurokushi, who, I will also point out, is a living skeleton fueled by dark magic, which is badass as hell. Apparently, I also don't have the full version of this song. And how I felt... Thank you, I will read that in a second, because I was about to say how I felt when they got rid of Dokurokushi after 18 episodes is how I felt when the music just stopped and looped right then. I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, Rennie says, I don't know much about Pretty Cure other than its popularity in Japan. I will point out, it is the most popular girls anime in Japan. This Sunday is the first episode of Delicious Party Pretty Cure, which is its 19th consecutive series. It has been going non-stop, with different teams, and each of them is different, as you can tell. But it has that much staying power. It's that popular. And she says, I love listening to it. You can tell how passionate I am about it and just analyzing it. And I said it at the very beginning when you weren't here. I have been losing my mind all day, super hyped for this stream. I have never been so excited for a stream as this one. Honestly, and I'm having a great time just talking. We're not even playing the games yet! And then they killed Dokurokushi. And we spend the next 18 episodes with these kind of genies, and Mahotsky just kind of gets dragged down. And it feels exactly like the dynamic from when I was talking a moment ago to right now. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching it and I'm kind of like, well, it's still not bad, but can we do something cool again? And then they introduce Deus Mast, who is the super big bad, who's basically Galactus. And it gets pretty cool at the end, but so much of the middle feels bogged down and almost empty. Felice is made the center of attention for most of that middle period, and she is overpowered as all hell, and the fights just aren't even interesting. For all of that enthusiasm I had for the beginning, I have to put Mahotsky in C. And I hate that. I truly do. Because the beginning was just so promising. And it slipped through my fingers. Okay, well, we're done talking about Mahotsky, so we can get rid of that, because we're going on to a la mode. Kira Kira, Purikir, a la mode. I came into the series when, well, actually it had been, season 1 had been sitting in my anime queue for years to this point, like, probably 4 or 5 years. And I just hadn't seen it. And it was around now with a la mode. Hold on, let me do some math. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 20... late 2016, early 2017. I had started university by then. And I was like, I'll try this Pretty Cure. I know it's a magical girl show, and I love magical girl shows, so I'll give it a shot. And then I lost my shit, and I just like powered through the entire series. I caught up with the end of Pretty Cure a la mode. So this is where I get to like watching it live. A la mode, honestly, is very similar to Mahotsky for me. It was interesting in the beginning. It maintained that for a good chunk, about 2/3 of the way through. Noir was an interesting antagonist. You had no idea what was going on with him. And then they talked about his backstory, and you're like, okay, yeah, he was in love with this girl before, and then she's like, no, I'm not gonna like live just for you. I do all this for everyone so they can be happy. And he's like, no, you do it for me. And she's like, haha, no. And then he became evil and this like living shadow guy, and it's awesome. And then they get rid of him. They get rid of the like in Mahotsky, they got rid of one of the most interesting characters and replaced him with a villain, like an actual villain. And it got so boring from that point. This is the first time I can say I think I finished Pretty Cure a la mode. I may not have seen the last like 4 or 5 episodes. I honestly don't remember. Which is why a la mode goes in D. Because there were things I really do. I feel bad about having Go down there. I'm putting that back up in C. A la mode can be down here by itself in D. I don't know. It just didn't click. And I was terrified going into Hugtto because of it. I was like, oh my god, is this going to be the new dynamic? I didn't hate a la mode, but I couldn't get it in me to love it. Or yeah, I just couldn't, and that it felt so bad. It feels bad now thinking about it, honestly. So after that I was worried. I started watching them live from here, like weekly. Oh, the new Pretty Cure is here, I need to watch this. Next was Hugtto Pretty Cure. Ooh, I need to show, actually. Camera. You can tell where this is gonna go. Because... oh. Well, where is it? Oh god, is it behind that? No! What? Where is it? It's behind Firefox. I'll close that. Hi! I forgot the layer. You know Hugtto goes at the top because today I am wearing my Hugtto Pretty Cure shirt all day. I loved Hugtto. It's most definitely one of my favorites. It goes squarely up here in the upper echelons of Pretty Cure greatness. Shit, hold on, I have to do the camera stuff. Okay. Tiny video. I'm just showing off my shirt. I also have, my, oh, that's only the intro size. I have the, it's a doll. The Cure Yell doll, too. But Hugtto, the characters were great. The story, you didn't know what was happening, and then it went through, and oh, all of the characters were so good. George, the big main antagonist, is, I will say, he is most definitely my favorite Pretty Cure antagonist. Possibly my favorite character in the whole series. The short version of it is the bad guys are from the future, and they came back and they're trying to stop time, so there is no future. And everyone's like, well, what the hell's up with this? So Harry the Hamster Man comes back in time with the baby, Hugtto, who is the Pretty Cure from the future, Cure Tomorrow, to try to stop them. And then they get all the Pretty Cure stuff going and all that good stuff. Well, it turns out that the future Pretty Cure, Hugtto, is the daughter of the main character, Hana, who is also the future wife of the main villain, George. And they never exactly say what it is. Something happens, she dies, and he loses his mind. And he says, I have to stop this from happening. So he goes back in time to try to stop the future from happening at all. He doesn't want himself to hurt, he doesn't want anyone else to hurt. And through the entire series, it has him in his room with like this giant canvas, and it's like half painted, and it's a field of sunflowers. And you're like, oh, he likes painting big ass pictures of sunflowers. And it takes him the entire series, and it mostly shows him like from the front. You can see he's painting, and you'll get glimpses of the canvas, and you're like, he's still working on that picture. By the time you get to the end, you realize he's not painting the sunflowers, he's painting over them. He's whitewashing the canvas to unmake it. And and he doesn't even consider that Hana would exist in the past. He accidentally runs into her. And at first you're like, oh, this guy's a weird pervert. But you can see it in his face. He's shocked. And he tries to he'll just kind of show up, and he's like, oh, hey. Not like in it's most definitely weird, but not like in a creepy really way. He does bring her flowers once, and she like knocks them out of his hand, and she's like, back the fuck up! And it's I most definitely recommend Hugtto. I mean, I gave away the biggest point, but it is fantastic. I believe it might be on Crunchyroll. Don't hold me to that. I know the next 3 series are. Star Twinkle, Healin' Good, Tropical Rouge, and A la Mode are. Hugtto might be. I would most definitely recommend it. It's a good entry into the series, too. It's also the first time we have a canonical male Pretty Cure, if only for one episode. Cure Infini, which is an interesting development. It sticks to the tagline of "you can do anything, you can be anything," and honestly, it's fantastic. And I'm not gonna have much worse to say about any of the upcoming series, because now we're moving to Star Twinkle Pretty Cure. Oh shit, I just turned the clock back on. Hold on. Oh no, I closed Firefox! Oh no! Oh! Okay. Star Twinkle Pretty Cure. The Pretty Cure go to the one place so that it hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space! I learned that the word for space in Japanese is uchu, and I have been using it endlessly since. Star Twinkle lacked some of the dynamism of the other series. They went to a lot of different places, like other worlds, which was cool. It mostly took place on Earth, in the town, but sometimes they'd have to go out for a thing here or a thing there. The story overall was really good. I liked Darkness. It was based around the Zodiac and having to rescue the Star Princesses. There were 12, and each of them was imprisoned by Darkness, who was just obliterating worlds with his crazy army. And there were really good character parts, especially with Cosmo and Iron, who turned all of Cosmo's race into statues. She just petrified the entire planet by mistake. And then she's like, whatever. They did a really good job paralleling those two characters. It was wonderful. Capard was great. Again, Star Twinkle is another one where all of the characters were fantastic, but unfortunately, the story just didn't have the focus of other series like Princess or Hugtto. I will give the Star Twinkle bonus points for making Darkness the 13th Zodiac, Ophiuchus, the snake, which has not been used in ages, and that's part of the story. I looked it up. I was like, what the hell are they going on about? And it was great. I loved the Ophiuchus Star Princess work in there, and the way she just super manipulated everyone. Capard was wonderful. He had an entire episode for him, and how the bee people came and stole all of the water off of his planet, so he can't trust aliens. It was, I wish I had an A+ category to put Star Twinkle into. Not to mention, Star Twinkle is the only series where I watched an episode live in Japan. I saw the Christmas episode on the morning for First Live with You. I also have the Cure Cosmo doll that I got while I was there. I went to a Toys R Us in Tokyo the week before Christmas, which I did not consider until I was already in the store surrounded by a bunch of bustling Japanese people trying to, get stuff the week before Christmas. I was like, shit, this was a bad idea. I still got my stuff. Star Twinkle was good. The movie was excellent. I haven't even talked about the movies! I'm not going to talk about the movies because we'll be here all night, and then we will never play any games. The Star Twinkle movie was wonderful. At first I was kind of like, okay, it's going to be kind of schmaltzy. And it was, but I felt. And that doesn't happen a whole lot. Super props to Star Twinkle Pretty Cure. Pretty Cure. And after Star Twinkle came... Healing good idea, Shintai, Himita, healing good, Pretty Cure. which, ironically, is the series focusing on medicine and happened during the pandemic. So they had to take a month off. All of Toei's stuff stopped for a month. This and Digimon Adventure were what I was watching. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm not watching this anymore. But Healing Good? I'm also going to put Healing Good up in S. It's another one. Most of the antagonists were really good. No, the antagonists were, I'd give them a good 8 out of 10. The primary characters get a good 9. The story did very well. Just about health, animals, the planet, that kind of thing, but it wasn't like environmentally. It was really good, and there was a good dynamic between Nodoka and, oh no, I forgot his name, because they had really weird names in Healing Good. I got distracted by a school email. But yeah, there was a really good thing with that, and about why Nodoka was so sickly before, because she was patient 0, really. She brought the Byogen out, and it was really good. I keep saying it was really good, but it was really good. And Pure Earth was played by Mimori Suzuko, who you may remember is also Umi in Love Live! Yes! We have a Muse connection with Pretty Cure, which is our second Love Live connection with Asami Tano, and Ai Furihara, who is Ruby in Love Live Sunshine, also did a lot of the spirit voices for Healing Good. It was great. I entered the contest for Design Your Own Spirit, knowing damn well I wouldn't get a prize. I just wanted to. I made a little sand element, and he was adorable. I should have loaded him into OBS beforehand, but I didn't think about that. I don't know where the file is. It's saved on my external drive. But Healing Good was... I really liked Healing Good. Do I have it on here? Oh, he is here! Hold on. Healing Good, Bellicula. Hold on a second. Here he is. Sand Element Sun. That's him. I doodled him up in 5 minutes. And he's adorable. I was gonna make him like a little Sandman, but then I'm like, you can't really tell that he's made of sand. So I made him a sandcastle. He's got a little shovel in his head. He's also voiced by Ai Furihara. I was like, it was shared on Instagram to the main account, and I put, dude, I don't live in Japan. I know I don't qualify for anything. I don't want a reward. I just want to put this out here. Here you go. And I believe they used the winners in the Healing Good movie. I haven't seen any of the more recent movies because it's been harder to watch them. Especially with the whole pandemic thing going on, gumming stuff up. Unfortunately, so yeah, I haven't seen any of the movies after Star Twinkle. I really need to, though. And then last, but most definitely not least, we have the most recent series, and the opening BRB, Dun, dun, bum, ba, dum, ba, dum, bum, 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 bum. Let's spark. I got rid of the lyrics. Tropical Rouge Pretty Cure. Yeah, yeah. Ichi Nenju Kokoro wa Summer. Something, something, ba, something, ba, steel drums, Tropical Rouge. Pretty Cure. Tropical Rouge ended the day before yesterday. So this is super recent, and it is super going in S. Because there were mermaids. And that's it. No, it's not. Tropical Rouge had me hooked from the beginning. And it just continued. It was another one of those series where all of the characters were amazing. Especially the Witch of Delays, who was the big main bad guy. I actually don't want to talk about spoilers for Tropical Rouge because it's so recent, but just the history of the Witch of Delays and why she lays in her bed all day and doesn't do anything. You think, oh, she just can't get off her ass, but there are actual reasons, and it's heartbreaking. I was watching, I was like, oh, they're gonna talk about the witch this episode, okay, that'll be cool. And then I sat there and my face just drooped more and more. And I felt horrible after this episode. But in a good way. I felt so much. I will say I felt like the last episode was a bit of a cop-out. It was just kind of a haha, yay, the end. Good stuff. The endings for the past few, Hugtto, Star Twinkle, Healin' Good had really good endings, like final episodes. Especially Hugtto and Star Twinkle, which showed like the future. Tropical Rouge, yeah, I enjoyed the episode, but it felt a little cheap to me. Like the series was rocking at 100, and then it lost like 4 points at the end there. It stumbled on the finish line. The last like 8 minutes of the entire series were just kind of like, oops. Overall, absolutely wonderful. It is now complete, so you can marathon through the whole thing. It is on Crunchyroll. I would highly recommend Tropical Rouge Pretty Cure. It's even good for your first series, if you haven't seen any of them before. And with that, we have the past 18 Pretty Cure series ranked from S to D. If there were pluses, I'm calling out everyone. Not even people watching this video, everybody. Like, for one of the most popular series in Japan, so few people actually know about it, and if they do, it's, oh, I've heard of that. And it's a shame. It is designed for a younger demographic, but it's written very well. Even watching it as a grown-ass adult, I can sit there in some episodes, I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, you're right, Pretty Cure. There were things that in adulthood we just don't consider anymore. Like dreams that we had, or just having a laugh each day. We get so consumed with what is now the adult world for us that we've grown out of the joy in our own hearts. And while I am still a horrifically cynical asshole, I feel that having watched Pretty Cure has actually made me a better person outwardly. I feel better after having seen all of this. It sounds cheesy, but it's true. It really had a big positive effect on me. And I'm really glad that I, on a whim, decided to just watch the first episode. Now, if I had pluses on here, it would be like much more of a triangle, but you can see the series has a lot more ups than downs, fortunately. It would be more like even in a incline if I had pluses on here, probably. A lot more A's than D's. And that is why I am obsessed with this little girl anime. Sometimes I follow the main account on Instagram and I'm like, oh, hey, that's really cool. Oh, hey, the new episode's coming up. That's what it's going to be about. Oh, they're taking a break this week. Okay. And then sometimes I'll hit a post and it's like, Pretty Cure Pajamas. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. That I wouldn't be able to get my arm through that. And then I remember, oh yeah, it's a children's anime. But it doesn't matter. Love what you love, man. I always say, if you are ashamed of what you love, then you do not deserve to love it. And I will always, always stand by that. I say it all the time to people. And that, and this coming Sunday is Delicious Party Pretty Cure, which we've had like maybe 1 or 2 trailers for, and that's pretty much it. I know the pink one is Cure Precious. The theme is food, again, kind of like a la mode. In a la mode, they ran a patisserie. I don't know what they're doing in this one. I do know that Precious has fork and spoon earrings, which is adorable. But I don't want to look too much into it, so it's got like the big surprise and stuff for me. But I'm really looking forward to Sunday when the new episode airs. I guess I should also I should turn the camera back on real quick just to point out my crap. Oh look, the overlay's back. Hey, it's everybody there. I need to get rid of the posters. So you can't really, I don't have the external camera, the high definition one set up, so you can't see it too well. I got my doll collection. I have Cosmo there in the dark corner. There's Yell for Hugtto. I have all 4 of the Healin' Good ones. And then all 5 of the Tropical Rouge down here. And I labeled their little stands. I got really nice stands. They like hook under their arms so it doesn't grab them or anything. And they've got little nameplates that I wrote on there. And then over here directly behind me, you will see whenever I have the camera on is, oh, you can't really see it here. I've got a lot of the like transformation items, like they have the lockets and the wands and all that. I've got the Healin' Good wand. I've got the compact for Smile and all of the little Cure decors. I have all of them. I've got the Tropical Rouge packed and the wand down there. Let me see if I can, here. I'm gonna grab one of them. Give me a second. Let's not break anything. Hold on. Oh, you're also going to get a gratuitous ass shot. So enjoy it while you can, internet. I'm wearing my pajama shorts already. I'm half changed. I want it. Give it to me. Come on. Come on. Give me the pack. Hey, Tropical Rouge pack. And I've also got, yeah, I bumped the microphone. I also have the star color pendant from Star Twinkle Pretty Cure that they used to transform, and it's got the pin that goes in there, and it's fantastic. But no, I loved Tropical Rouge so much that I pre-ordered a lot of the stuff. Actually, I pre-ordered each of the dolls, and I pre-ordered the things, which I normally just do it when they release. But I was like, oh my, yes! Here, I'm actually going to stop the music, because, well, we're done with the segment. But then I can also just, like, I'm gonna show off my crap. Yeah, and these are like, these aren't just toys. These are actually really nice, too. You can get some, like, cheap versions, but you can also get properly nice ones. I mean, the camera quality sucks ass. But yeah, you twist this, and it opens the compact. And it's got, it's so pretty! It's pretty! Yeah, you've got, like, your proper little mirror. And it's got all the things. Let me see if I can... There we go. Tropical Pacto! And it cycles through everyone. I don't remember how to make it do that. Oh, that's right. You have to push the... Yeah! Mina de Henshin! And... yeah, I suppose a light photosensitivity warning. Nothing rapid, but... it didn't like when I did that. I'm doing something. Oh! Oh, wait, no, wait! I wasn't listening, I was too busy talking. It wanted me to stop on the red light. I think it said something else, but I wasn't listening. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, yeah, I accidentally told it to play a game. It wanted me to stop it on specific colors. I wanted it to play the music. I don't know how to work this thing, but I love it so much. It's really cool, the Smile one. It also does the voice and the lights and everything, but each of the decors has a special sound that it plays when you do it. And that box is full of them. And then got a heart rouge rod. Oh, I also have all of the rings. And all of the bottles that go in the Heal and Good wand. Ta-da! And it's a little lipstick there, like they do. You know, heart rouge rod, cha-cha! And then they turn it, and it's boop, boop, boop. And then they, you know, blow the bad guys up, as you do, because Sentai. Oh no, I can't make it go back down. Oh, that's because I'm twisting the wrong part. You can tell I don't play with these. I enjoy them. I'm a collector. I'm going to put these over here so nothing happens to them. And yes, got all my Love Live Nessas up there. Completely unrelated. But yeah, Rennie pointed them out. And then my little Niji Nessas. Oh! And My totally rockin'. Give it to me! I want it! My Smile Pretty Cure bag, which I love. This is actually a very good bag. It's solid, it's glittery, and it has 2 pockets. I have used this. It's not very big, so I can kind of bring it with me some places. Yeah. Yeah, Earth, the purple, and Umi up there in the middle. I'm trying to do this with the camera. Cure Earth, and back there, forward, Umi! And then Sarah is Asami Tano, and boom, Cure Sunny. There's the Love Live connection. Yo, you were just talking about my little Nessos before. I saw that it flashed my big ones. Yeah. I have all of Muse and Aqua, and then like half of the Niji ones. So that is the discussion portion. Holy shit. That was half the stream. I thought that was only going to be half an hour. It was an hour and a half. Okay, let's get to the games, shall we? I'm going to shrink this back down. And then I'm going to get rid of it. Bye-bye.